Always a bop, man. I say that
Always a
every
good
time.
time.
I'm
Always a
never
good
gonna not
time.
say
I know. I always, like you said, I think last time, is like I always notice something different. Like watching that and seeing the scene from Bleach where all the demons are in the background. It reminded me too of Berserk, where when he finally goes to the Hell Realm and
Yeah.
all those armies of demons. I was like, wow, that's like a
Little subtle nod, you know.
that. Mm-hmm.
Um, Speaking of dope anime music, myself and EJ had the opportunity to go to a anime rave that was up here in Richmond this Friday, and it's put on by was it We Touch Grass Entertainment.
We Touch Grass.
Um,
Is excellent.
there could have been more DJs. While we were there were three, right? So there was a Dream Driver, DJ from New York. Alex Cade was like the main
Main
DJ,
event,
the one
yeah.
everybody comes for, and I think it's because he includes more anime into his
Directly, yeah.
mixes, which like turned the shit all the way to fucking 11. And
So
It
it
was.
wasn't all three DJs didn't do anime the
they
entire
did, but it
time?
was like the first guy. He's up there. He did probably like maybe 4 or 5 songs in his hour set. A lot of like very popular. Like he'll mix some Skrillex with some DJ Snake with some, you know what I'm saying, like popular,
Mm-hmm.
famous house
Yeah,
songs,
combos like
but
pop
mix them with like
music
different,
or
yeah.
pop rock, and then mixed in. Yeah, so yeah,
So, but Alex, when he comes up, it's just it was a majority of just anime intros and outros mixed with
yeah,
music and
with
stuff.
tracks dropped on it. It was dope. He did actually all of them did a great job.
Yeah. And then
Um,
the third one, Ninja Fex. He came on, and I was just like, I looked at EJ. I'm like, fam, it's like going on
like
130, bear. Like,
1:30.
yes. And I mean, he just like he just came out. He showed no signs of like, hey, we're about to wrap this up. And I was like, hey, bro.
it was not a all right. I'm closing it out for everyone. It's a hey, we're gonna keep rolling,
No
and I
last
was like,
call, no nothing. I'm just like, I've never
What
been to
time
a
does the
rave,
bars close out there usually? It's 2 o'clock,
bro.
right?
yeah, it
I don't
should be,
know.
but there was no mention
I don't.
of
Hey,
that.
Jackie, at my advanced age, I just sit in my house, smoke hookah, and drink.
Yeah, I hadn't been out
I'm
drinking
in Vegas
in
here, so everything's open all the time,
Yeah.
24/7. Like
yeah,
I never know what the normal world is anymore.
yeah. I
The
don't I
normal
don't
world.
think that they didn't even mention it because I mean people were still in line and there were still bartenders back there on both they're both the different stations. So what's up,
What
Kempachi?
up, Kipachi?
Um,
CJ, what up,
but yeah,
man?
they did an excellent job. I mean, for as quickly as they had it, they moved through it quick. It wasn't like you could tell they've done this before and they put some real effort into it because
Yep.
they had it set up to where I mean it's quick through the door, quick to get everything done, quick to get so it wasn't like waiting for forever. I know if you've ever been to other venues and they've been like where you could tell they're less organized, it takes a while to even get through the door, and then they're still trying to. It feels like they're always trying to play catch up. Here, I mean, we got there, we were inside pretty relatively quickly, but the best part was the moment we got in line. I mean, everybody was so interactive. We were talking with people about their favorite shows, people from
Oh,
Maryland,
cool.
people from the area, people from all over. We were
Yeah.
discussing what brought them into anime, what their favorites were. And I mean, that vibe continued all night.
Oh, that's so
Everybody.
sick.
I mean, there was so many cool people to just walk up and talk with you, dance, hang out with you, laugh, let us take pictures. It was all a good vibe the whole night, and
Do
that
they
was
have
something.
like themed drinks at all or anything? Or
I think they did because they had non-alcoholic and alcoholic,
Right.
and I think the non-alcoholic had more to theme names because if I remember right, there was at least two up there that were like directly either like a power level move or something by a
oh,
certain
that's cool.
character, or related to a location within one of the animes. So that they put out the effort. I'm telling you, they did a really good job, and then some people for the cosplay event, I guess they're also involved with like
Oh,
Galaxy
okay.
Con. So
Oh,
there
so
was a
there was not only just the rave, but there was also like a costume cosplay
Mhm.
contest or just
No, it
yeah
was
contest, not
it
for
wasn't a
reward, but more
contest.
just to exposure and to share.
okay.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. A lot of the people just you know, because we were walking up there, and I was like, bro, I ordered this whole Rengoku joint, bro. Like the wig, the fucking, you know, cloak, all of that shit. And I was just like, I'm about to show up there, show up, show out. But then I was just like, I don't know if this is like con level dress up. Like, I don't want to be the dude up there. You know, like it's gonna be hot, people jumping around. But like Eric said, like we got in line and we're waiting, and as people were coming up, like people were like all out, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
fuck, I should have did it. But
You should know our community better by now. People
Mm,
go
But
all
you're
out
not-
for the movie theater.
It's
They-
true. You're right, but you never know when you're in a different city, and we'd never done anything in Richmond.
Like, I'm
you know, I've
thinking-
been out in Phoenix and seen it.
like
You
it's
know,
it's hot, you know, like it was hot in there,
Yeah.
and you're wearing this whole polyester thing with the fucking, you know, orange and red and yellow wig, you know, and I'm just like, bro, it's a lot. Like, I don't know if I want to be jumping around partying in this. So I'll just wear, you know, my Hero shirt and everything and show up and have a good time. But moving forward, like if they come back to Richmond again, you know, I'll probably up the ante and stuff and show up and show out like everybody else did. But we'll be posting pictures on our socials, Eat the Cake Anime podcast page on Facebook, and then over on the Instagram as well. So as soon as we're done here, I'll upload all those things. Shout out to EJ for accompanying me there. Probably the two oldest people in there.
oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we were turned up. CJ, he's like saying jump around like we could still do that. We were, bro.
I mean,
by
by about 11 o'clock at night, me and Willie were.
When my man mixed up that the fucking what is it, silhouette opening from Shippuden. Oh,
Yep.
Shippuden. I was just like,
Oh my God.
I was like,
That's
bro,
sick.
this is next level
They
shit,
had
man.
visuals too, and like
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
visuals going.
Visuals.
I'm so
uh,
jealous. I wish that I could have.
They played your
Yeah, we were
Inuyasha.
there. We're like,
they
we're
played
gonna
the
have to do
boa
this
joint.
when Jackie can,
you know.
because I mean, once Alex got on stage, man, I mean, he was just kicking him out, and I mean, just everyone was losing their minds. He did a K-pop Demon Slayers mashup,
Oh
Nice.
my god,
and
yeah.
the place went wild. I mean,
Oh,
just
that's so
absolutely
sick.
wild, because he had a track that I guess was not released on the movie, but it's something that they're going to be using, whether it be in a future endeavor. But
Yeah.
he had claimed that they had sent him a track or a sample, so he mixed it into this mashup. And I mean, you should have seen the people, Jackie. I mean, it was like, you know, everyone just won lottery, because they were all like losing
was
their
dope.
minds.
It was
like,
dope. But shout out to Alex Cade, you know,
yep.
Dream Driver and Ninja Effects. Once we add those, you know, we'll tag them in the We Touch Grass company or venue or whatever they are. But they put on a good show. That was they said it was their first time coming to Richmond, so hopefully we showed out
Yeah.
enough for them to want to come back. But most definitely, Jackie, if they show up anywhere on the West Coast close to you, you got to check it out. It's a good stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All right. So enough about old people at raves. You guys ready to talk about summer anime?
I'm stoked to talk about it.
All right, let's get into it. Anime summer recap coming up. Well, I remember, was it early spring? We all kind of gave our thoughts on, hey, this is what's coming down the pipe. This is kind of what I'm looking forward to checking out. So if you want, we'll start with EJ, because we talked a little bit about some of the ones you were checking out, and you know, some you were like, this is pretty good. Some you were like, kind of, you know, treading water. So
Yeah.
give your thoughts on you know, a few of the anime that you've been checking out, and if you think they'll succeed or if you think they'll kind of pull the plug a bit early.
All right, so I'll start with the lesser of the group. So Leviathan on Netflix, which is based on that 3-book series. Not saying they didn't do a good job as far as presenting it. I know they did go away from the actual novels slightly in certain areas, especially in the ending of the series. This first series, it ends different than the books, so fans are probably looking at that. I don't know if it got the traction it should have, mainly because I feel like Netflix is notorious for trying to take the material and kind of just give it that generic action with romantic undertones. I don't know if anyone's ever watched any of their Demon Prince series, which was a Netflix original animation. It's not anime,
Mm-mm.
but it's along the same lines as that, where it's like hero doesn't, meets female. They're not really, they don't get along or anything at first, and then you could tell a relationship builds. It's kind of the same basic story.
Like
It's
enemies to
just
lovers
changing,
type thing.
yeah, changing skins, but not really changing the story very much.
Mm.
Some of the concepts, but that comes from the novels, were excellent. I mean, as far as the mixing of the Darwinists and the Plankers, as far as the way that they view everything, was interesting. I don't know if it's going to get a second season. I don't know if they've announced that yet. But if I had to say any of them that I was watching this summer, that I felt probably was not the strongest, that was probably it. Mainly because, like I said, it's geared more, I would say, young adult level books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and anime fans can be really picky with that. We're very if the story's going to be funny, it's cool, or if it's going to be very action packed, cool. But if it can't really find its place, then you can lose your anime fans quickly if they don't. You're not giving them one or the other, something, story or action. This one kind of waited a little bit with a lot of the reveals or action and so forth. Next would be the Lord of Mysteries. Outstanding art and very, very original ideas. I know it's one of the Chinese animation studios' first or big releases as far as they've done everything. And I really enjoyed as far as the art and the story, and as far as the inventiveness of their magic system and everything in that world. And it's not like an isekai like we're used to, but it's obviously a transition for characters into this other world. So it's got that element in it, but it makes the other worlds layers, which makes it really interesting. And the powers that they can carry are really dependent on how they interact in these worlds and how they pass these like trials almost. So if anyone has a chance to check it out, I mean, art wise, it's beautiful. The colors, the lines, very vivid. The art is on point the entire series. There you go, Kampachi backing me up. It is definitely going to get a second season. I think anybody who's even checked it out, once you've watched a few episodes, you get hooked on the idea of like, I need to know more. So my only downplay for that is that, and I mean it's a really small one. It's just that I'm getting used to the Chinese audio and then the subtitles as being very different as far as what we're used to with anime,
Oh,
and
you watch
get a
it
little
in
bit of,
Chinese sub?
yeah. So it's like you're used to hearing it a certain way, and anyone who has knowledge dealing with people who speak Hangul, Chinese, Japanese, there's very distinct vocal pronunciation differences. Chinese have a lot of long vowels and so forth, so it's getting used to that. But overall, I mean, that's a minute issue. It's not big at all. Especially, it doesn't detract from the story at all. The only areas where you wonder that is, like I mentioned it with To Be Hero X, is sometimes you wonder if they get the exact translation correctly, especially when you have something so different than the norm, like Chinese versus Japanese anime. The Chinese are going to have different connotations and culture behind a lot of their expression than what you're used to seeing with Japanese anime. So, but other than that, I mean, Lord of Mysteries, outstanding. I recommend everybody check it out. Before going into too far into it, I just wanted to talk about my fave, which is Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 was brilliant this season. Knocked it out the park, in my opinion, for a series to go from a first season to a second season and improve that much was outstanding. And I mean, the way that they improved it to me was they broke the mold of just kaiju shows up, they all fight it, they check to see, they show their growth or whatever, and then next step, kaiju shows up. They broke that mold completely with the whole growth of kaiju number 9, and kaiju number 9 becoming such an integral, important character, and its relation to the past of some of these other characters. Which the one thing we talked about, Willie and I, as well as talking to some of these people at the anime rave that we went to, the depth to which they're going into giving the backstory and fleshing out all the supporting characters in this, you don't feel like, hey, this is just Kafka's homie. You know, when you're watching it, you're like, this guy's his own. This girl could be the center of this, you know, this whole series. No character feels shallow or empty that's been getting good screen time. I mean, all of them, all of the Kaiju Defense Force characters, the main characters are just, I mean, you end up rooting for all of them. So any kind of situation, like, no spoilers here, but individuals who are close to dying or, you know, might die in a moment during an episode, you're invested. So I feel like, you know, being it my favorite so far this summer, I think they did great. I know they're going to have another season, and I can't wait for it. I'll hold off on any others because I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember if we've all touched base on exactly which ones we're covering. So those were my three for right now. I know I brought those up before in the spring, so that's where I'm at with them.
Nice. So I remember before you're talking when we were doing the previews, Leviathan was one that you were like really looking forward to, based on, you know, knowledge of the books and things like that. You said it's, I think your biggest fear, from what you said, if I'm recalling right, is how is it so much the pacing or how it's translated from the books to the visual art with how they're trying to push the story. You said it was geared for more young adults. Like a, would you say it's like, you know, I know it's not around anymore. If it is, I don't know if they said the CW like they did with like all the comic things. Like let's
Yeah.
just try to,
And that,
you know, romanticize and throw some teenage angst in here
yeah,
amongst the
that's the
story.
nail on the head right there. I mean, you got it, Willie. I mean, to me, they added a little more emphasis on that high school like drama or relationship drama than needs to be. Especially, I mean, any fans out there who are watching that have read all three books and are more well versed in the world, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like the first season in most cases is trying to world build. You know, you're trying to not only character focus but world build and pull people in, like, hey, this is what's going on, which is what I give so much credit to Lord of Mysteries for. But when you're talking about, yeah, they end up throwing in stuff where you feel like, should this be the focus or should I be learning what it is to be a Darwinist versus one of the people who are more of a clanker, and why that rift is there and how does that affect the future of this world? Is one more dangerous than the, those are the things that most of us would be like, you know, hey, what's the substance behind this? Because if you're going to side on any side of a conflict, you need to know why or what do they believe. But I feel like they took sharp turns to go and build relationship moments instead of going in. And maybe, like I said, if there's anyone out there that's more of the, you know, novel fan and you've read the novels and watched the show, or just read the novels, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the areas that they tried to build more emotion or relationships or the mush, as Kimpachi threw up there, wasn't as necessary, especially in the first season when you're trying to build this up to bring people into this world, you know, and like, hey, let's get excited, let's want to know more about this world. Instead, they tried to be more character focused and relationship focused, and it's hard when you're just biting into the, you know, this brand new idea. So yeah, the CW comparison is perfect, where you kind of got like, even, you know, I think one of the few shows that escape that is maybe Supernatural, but for the most part, Arrowverse, the Vampire Diaries, all those constantly fell back into like a high school drama when it came to like people's interactions, and a lot of that is their target audience. They're looking at young adult. Young adult wants those conflicts and drama where, you know, if that's what you're looking for and that's what you want, is more of a people story, you know, it did pull that off pretty good. I just didn't feel like encompassed the world, especially as, you know, loved and in depth as these books are for many people. If you even look it up, do a random search, you'll find so much information from people who love this series from the author. So I'm hoping they get, you know, it either carries on and they get to delve more into what he created, or, you know, at least it'll open people up to maybe checking out his novels.
That sucks, man. You know, we had a show before talking about how Netflix, you know, they'll be super ambitious with something, and then like if it doesn't get the right ratings or whatever, they just pull the plug instead of just letting all three parts of the story come out. And it's crazy because you're like, bro, you're putting out Rebel Moon, two movies that nobody really fucks with, so much money behind them, and yet
So much money there.
you got things like this, like just let part one be part one, world build, whatever it is, and then
Mhm.
just let the story go through, and let the just give the people a chance to tell their story, and just let people figure if they fuck with it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It also, when you look at it, it's like things like Moonrise.
Yeah,
A lot of people said, they had their issues with it as far as it was, confusing at points or the
It didn't
pacing.
get the advertisement though that it
Exactly.
deserved.
neither
They
did
didn't throw it out
Leviathan.
there now, and they really just kind of, I don't know. They didn't give it a chance. The art was beautiful. I felt like the you could tell the effort was put in there. They were definitely trying to world build and show you a past and a build up to the conflict that's going on now, and they cut it. Or even we talked about it before. I think Terminator Zero. A lot of people love that, and I mean, it came out, and anyone, you could be a fan of the Terminator series or not, and watch this and probably pick up most of the story. What I understand, they've already decided they're not going to continue with that, even though it caught lots of love. So you're just like, when Willie says that, I totally agree. They keep seeing these other projects jump out, and I feel like Netflix is always constantly out there just trying to hook the next big, like, Game of Thrones style show or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree, CJ. It was great. They did an excellent job, but they're trying to hook onto this explosive show that's going to just kick off and everybody's going to love it. But with that, they're dropping the ball on ones that it may take a little bit to build. I mean, um, some of the greatest animes that everybody loves wasn't that way after the first, in the first season, especially before, if you're talking about old anime back in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s, when there was a lot less visual effects, and the stories had to build, and you had to give it time because they didn't have that draw, the catch your eye right away, so I don't know. Unfortunately, we keep running into this with this. I don't understand it.
I will say, of the three you talked about, which one do you think has the best chance of, catching on and becoming something pretty popular?
I would say, I mean, we already know Kaiju number 8. A lot of people love it,
Yeah.
so it's already made it there. I think if people would give Lord of Mysteries a chance, I think that it would definitely become something that people really enjoy. Because we were all, you had a full plate this summer. Everybody had a full plate.
Yeah, I couldn't get around
And
to everything.
I finished Dan to Dan. I finished Kaiju. I finished, I'm in almost done with To Be Hero X. Trying to finish all these ones, but I still made time because Lord of Mysteries was just that interesting to go back and see everything that they're doing and the difference of events. Yeah, I mean, the challenges and stuff goes on. I mean, some of the interactions, like the trials for one of the main characters to get a power. That alone was done so differently than when you normally see, like, some sort of training arc. This was more of like a test of his being and his mental fortitude, all in this kind of, like, played out on another plane of existence within his own thoughts, and it was very well done. I mean, maybe Kampachi's the one that turned me on to this, so I'm sure he understands it better than I do. But yeah, just the level of thought and stuff that they're going with, very original, very original. So if you just want to check something else that's out, that's not following the normal pattern, that I would definitely check out Lord of Mysteries.
Nice.
Do you think because the episodes are like, I think they're like 35 minutes long, do you think that's what's maybe turning some people off too? Is that it's longer than like a typical anime?
Yeah, that's true. It's not the 20 minutes that we normally get of actual story, and besides the intro and outro, you get about 20 minutes for normal anime episode. And this is a little longer. But I think that if you could get past that with the first and second episode, where it kind of feels like, you're used to a pilot. Sometimes anime will throw you out a pilot episode that's an hour long.
Yeah.
So you kind of look at it as like, it's really extended pilot, but after you get through that first hour and 15 minutes, which is about the first two episodes, the others aren't going to seem as long because you're now more vested. But I know what
Yeah.
you mean. A lot of people who just like to binge and get, watch a bunch of episodes and get through it. This is more of a time amount, but it's not as long of a season either. So that kind of weight, you could weigh the two against each other. Like,
Yeah, it's like what, like 9 episodes or
yeah, I
something?
think it's 9 or 10 episodes, and it's like, compared to like a 26 episode
Yeah.
season or something, so you're like,
Or
they kind
normal
of
like season animes are like 12 episodes. So you're
yeah,
technically just getting a longer episode, but you're spending the same amount of time almost.
exactly. If you binge it, you're doing the same amount of time binging it as you would a 12 episode season. So, yeah.
I think it's great. We watched 2 episodes of it and we haven't finished it because of, like we said, we had a full plate.
Yeah.
But we want to go back and watch it because we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good problem to have, though. Like, everything that dropped
Yeah.
this summer, obviously, in a perfect world, we would have been able to watch everything, take the time, break it down, and give everybody our thoughts. But the fact that we haven't lets us know while the fall's going on in between, we can just go back and now that these are done, possibly just binge a whole season instead of doing the wait the week to week thing like a lot of people do. So,
True.
Kenpachi has some joints. Gacci Akuta, Togen Anki, Sword of the Demon Hunter, Doctor Stone, Dan to Dan, and to a lesser extent, the Water Magician.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of things on here. I imagine you will mention most of those. We'll get to a few of them. I'll say that. I'll say that, Kenpachi. And then CJ's in the comments. He says anime and horror have really carried the box office this summer.
Absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
still later this month do have the Chainsaw Man movie, the Res arc.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that'll be dropping as well. If you are a premium Crunchyroll member like I am, you should be able to get access to watch it 2 days before it releases. So it drops in
Sweet.
theaters 24 October, but if you are a
Mhm.
premium, you'll be able to watch it 22 October. So I already got my ticket, so I'm stoked.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
Jackie, what have you watched this summer? What are your thoughts? And I guess kind of with EJ, like when you're done with that, which one do you see kind of trailing off, and which one do you see kind of picking up and becoming somewhat of a quote unquote juggernaut moving forward?
Yeah, I watched a lot. Um More than I thought I was gonna be able to. Towards the end of the summer, I didn't get to finish a lot of them,
Uh huh.
but I know that, and I can just talk about the 3 really quick, just like,
Go ahead.
Eric did. So, on in here, and I kinda put it in an ascending order of what I thought was from least to better. So I had, like, Witch Watch, Secrets of the Silent Witch, and, um, Takopi's Original Sin, which
Mm-hmm.
ironically enough, 2 out of 3 of those I did not include in my things to look forward to in the episode that we did for summer
The
anime.
summer, yeah.
2 notable mentions that I did talk about that I wanted to watch that I ended up only watching 2 episodes of was Hell Teacher, Jigoku Sensei, and Yacht of the Living Cat, which was that comedy one where with all the cats, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hate it. I really loved it.
I heard it's hilarious. So
Yeah, it was really like after even the first 2 episodes, they were really funny. But we just we went back to there's just so much other like good anime going on that we kept going back to those whenever we had time, and then
Mhm.
if I ran out of time, I didn't go back and watch those. So with Witch Watch, and again, I have like just quick recaps for some of them, but for those of you that didn't watch it, Witch Watch, what I thought it was going to be was more of a maybe comedy romance, but maybe a little bit serious, kind of like with some type of plot, witch story. It definitely is not that. Like when you go in to watch the anime, there's really no freaking plot. It's about this chick who really sucks at being a witch and has this childhood best friend who she expects to like save her and be her familiar essentially. And he's a um sorry, I forget what he is. I forget
it's
what
like
those.
he's an Oni, right?
Ogre.
Yes, he's an oni. Thank you.
I thought it was ogre.
Yeah, he's an ogre.
Yeah.
It's a descendant of ogres and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And yeah, a stoic ogre. That's what I have on here. So it's fantasy, romance, comedy, definitely a slice of life. Like
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this anime though is this was the first anime that I watched that would reference so much of pop culture anime. Like there's Demon Slayer references and Attack on Titan, and there's just so many, and it's really freaking funny. Like there's definitely some episodes in there which I was like actually like dying laughing. It's so stupid. Uh, but comedy wise, I thought it was super fun. I actually did not finish it. I have like 2 episodes left, so I just had to go back and finish out those 2 episodes. But um, the opening even is super fun. Like if you guys know the band Yao Sobi, they've done like openings for especially Oshinoko, which is a really good opening,
Free
and then
Rent as
also
well,
V
right?
Star songs.
Did they do Free
Sorry.
Rent? Free Rent, the opening.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did Free Rein also, and they
And
did just Free Rein, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say Apothecary Diaries, I thought, but I don't think it's Apothecary Diaries. I'm mixing up the different artists. Um, and the ending is good too. And there's a second opening and ending, which I haven't gotten that far yet. It's in the last episode, I believe. But all those artists are like brand new. But the animation's fun. It's very bright and um, matches like the whole vibe of the show. I did look up like some awards that it may or may not be um, up for potentially. It's not so it was nominated for 2021 Next Manga Awards. It was ranked number 2 in 2022, and people are saying that it is trending towards like maybe winner for either best new anime this season and best comedy. I don't agree with the first part at all.
mhm.
Um, there's definitely like, and I'll get to it of what I think there's other best there's other anime that I thought's way better than that. But comedy wise, I don't know, it's pretty funny. So
Yes.
I could definitely see this being up there as a contender when like the annual awards come around, that it's gonna be one of the top 5 for comedy, because of how funny it is. I enjoyed it. It's definitely an easy watch. Um, and then Secrets of the Silent Witch. So this was a random one that I found. There's a lot of witch animes that came out in the
All right.
summer, which is interesting because like you would think like I don't know, maybe fall time is when they come out because of October, but either way, there was a lot of like witchy ones that were coming out. And this one took me by surprise. I thought this one was going to be more serious because of the cover and what it looks like. It's kind of serious, but it's not. And it just basically follows this witch who she's one of the sages. And she has like a lot of anxiety and like socially when she goes in like public spaces, she just cannot she gets really uncomfortable. And sometimes when animes do that with like female leads, it can be really annoying. But they do this really well where it's like more natural and makes more sense and she's not an annoying character. It's I think it's brilliantly done. I
Mm.
don't hate her. I love her as a character. Um sh I don't know, it's really, really good. Um Oh, and I did do the ratings, I forgot. Witch Watch had a rating of about average score 7.7 across the board.
Hmm.
And then this one had ratings of 8.1, 8.0. So
Wow.
it was a novel, and a lot of people say the novel was really good, but it is kind of slice of life. There is a plot, kind of, but it definitely just goes through the day-to-day interactions between the witch and the people that she's going to school with because she's undercover trying to protect the prince and no one knows who she is. And
Hmm.
she's just badass witch. Um, but like I really like it. I loved the animation is like almost like a painter style or like a drawing kind of. It's the subtle tones and the colors like really match like the vibe of the show and it's really nice and it's really pretty to watch. It reminds me of Frieren a little bit. Um and which it and you I'm surprised because like I would think that they had the same animation studio, but they don't. The animation studio is Studio Gokumi, but I'm not familiar with the animes that's famous for is
Mm.
Yuki Yuna is a hero, Kiniro Mosaic, and Siren. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't
Hmm.
watched any of those.
Um, yeah, me neither. So, I really liked it. The opening and the ending are both by my most like favorite freaking band, Hitsuji Bungaku. Like, I freaking love them. They did the ending, No More Words for Jujutsu Kaisen. They've just done so much, and I wouldn't be surprised my Spotify playlist when it does like your annual review, and it's like one of my number one artists is them because I've been listening to them so much this year.
Hmm.
Uh, but the opening and ending is really freaking good, and the I don't know. I really like the anime. It's really awesome. Some people said it's boring. I mean, it's not supposed to be crazy. It's not supposed to have a lot of action. There's some action in it, but the action that they do have is like pretty sick when she does her spells. It's like you get really excited for it. It was ranked number 4 in Kono Light Novel ga Sugoi in 2023. So I think that's just like a type of thing in Japan for novels. And then it was featured in Next Light Novel Awards and Sugi ni Kuru Light Novel Taisho nominations, which the Taisho Awards is a big deal. I know that. They have that for some manga too. So those are some things it was ranked and nominated for. It doesn't have any other awards. So I don't know if this will be up there at the end of the year. I'm afraid because of a lot of the other anime that came out that it might not be, but if there's a slice of life,
Category.
genre, then I definitely think this will be up there.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one and Witch Watch are, like, next to each other for slice of lives, but Witch of Watch is definitely more of a comedy.
Mm.
And then the last one, which I did not have in that first episode that we did with this, but was a shocker to me when we found it, was Taco P's Original Sin, which is the background that I have here. It's only like 8 episodes, I think, or 6 episodes. Um, and it's essentially about this alien that comes from this planet called Happy Planet that comes down to Earth and meets this chick back here, which her name is Shizuka, and he essentially wants to do everything that he can to make her happy. It is not for the faint of heart. It is a very dark series. I did not know what to expect. The only reason why we decided to watch this is because when the weekly anime list came out on Instagram, this one beat out like some of the trending big anime that was out, and it was like it had the number 1 spot for the week for episodes. It was like a 9.8 or some shit like that.
Mm.
And Steven and I were like, we have to watch this anime, and it did not disappoint. The manga creator, if you've like read the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins, that's the same creator for that. I've never read it, so I can't like make a comparison for it. But the animation studio is a new one that I have never heard of before. It's called Initia, and it was a new studio formed around specifically this adaptation with several Dr. Stone alumni staffers. And then the director also directed a lot of Dr. Stone episodes and Made in Abyss episodes, which makes sense. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, when you mentioned the darker tones, yeah, because
And children are involved in this whole freaking series, so I'm like, yeah, like why don't you grab the guy that's really good at doing fucked up shit to children? I guess. So, dude, it's crazy. The finale was like crazy. I will say, like some people have an opinion about the ending and it being lackluster and not what they wanted. I thought it was perfect the way that it went. I really liked it. The opening's like this happy-go-lucky, like high-pitched singer voice. You're like, oh, this is gonna be fun. It's not. It's always the dark animes that always have like the most fun openings. If you guys ever watched Magical Girl, oh my gosh, Magical no Freak. I'm like forgetting the name. There's Magical Girl anime, and it's like with 3 girls, and it's very dark, and it doesn't look like it would ever be. Definitely recommend. I'm gonna look it up after this, and I'll tell you. But it's like that. But the cast has some like great freaking people in it. People from literally Taco P's character also voices like main characters in Made in Abyss. So you're grabbing people from other darker animes to also be in this.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, Frieren, Hell's Paradise, XXX Holic. That's an old one. That's 90s right there.
Yeah.
So it sold 1.4 million copies within months. So it was like a really fast seller. And then it won in the men's category of Kono Manga ga Sugoi 2023, ranked number 3. It got the Excellence Award for Pixiv Comic Awards in 2022. and it's frequently cited among top 10 most influential short manga of the decade,
Hmm.
which is crazy. So
You said it was a brand new studio.
yeah, it was specifically, that's what this says, or
Wow.
what I Googled is it was specifically formed around this anime with several Dr. Stone alumni staffers. So interesting enough, depending on how this anime does, who knows what this studio is going to be like, and if they're going to
Exactly.
take on more anime depending on how this goes. But it's a psychological job, like it's going to fuck with you. It's a dark fantasy.
Yeah.
Again, it has trigger warnings in the very beginning of when the anime starts. It straight up says, like,
I
just so
was
you
also
know, this is
interested
like,
that have you seen? I mean, I know you do a lot of the checking in the background of the studios and stuff. So when you looked at have you seen a growth in that? Because with this being a new studio that just kind of took a property and out the door, they're doing really well with it. It gives you the hope that there'll be other studios. And they're not saying that the studios that are out now aren't giving us great anime. I'm just saying anytime that there's more options coming that gives artists and stuff the opportunities to do more things, then I'm just interested if there's more of these pop-up studios coming along, and maybe it could be a sign that you know huge anime studios from before, you've had your our little scandals or rough moments that you hear about with them. Maybe these smaller studios are things that some of the artists and the creators are going to because it doesn't have that huge corporate, you know, control. So I don't know.
yeah,
I'm always interested when they're going to expand kind of the whole industry. I always find that
I
interesting.
think this company is going to take on more product projects only because other things that they've worked on was, if you heard of the movie Belle, it was like being advertised a lot, and it's about this
Yeah.
chick that she like has this character and sings. But it also helped work with Delicious and Dungeon,
Oh,
apparently.
okay.
So this was its first anime that they actually like, it's theirs. There's
Mhm.
other things that they've done, but it's not anything crazy. Um, I've never heard of him, but yeah, so we'll see. Maybe they'll do more. I thought like the art style and everything that they had for it was like really well done. Um, I didn't, I don't know. It was a really good anime. It's very dark. We've been look like I think it was CJ said the same thing, but like anime and horror really carried the box office this summer.
Yeah.
Definitely some horror and drama that was also coming through with anime too, and I really hope we continue to do more of those. There's been a lot of isekais and like slice of lives that have been really coming out, and some of them like have no relevant plot. And I think the dramas and the horrors or like psychological thrillers are. I hope that more of those keep
Yeah.
coming out because this one was really good. So if that doesn't answer the first question that you also asked, Willie, definitely Taco P's Original Sin out of these three was like I have other favorites, I'm not gonna lie, but I know you guys are gonna talk about them, so I didn't wanna talk about them. Like I know Eric, you talked about the summer Hikaru died, which was definitely one of mine and Steven's favorites.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was waiting to talk about that one because when we actually brought it up the first time, we split that because we both had
yeah.
that on our list. So I
Yeah.
was gonna wait
So
and see
yeah, I'll
what
leave that one
your
for your
inputs are.
yeah, I'll
I'll
leave that
tag
one for
along with you.
yours. But but yeah, I definitely see this as being up there. I Where this would be is definitely, if I don't know about horror because it's not considered a horror. So if they have like a thriller, which they do have a drama, they did have a drama section this year. So if they have the same thing, maybe they
Hmm.
put that one up there. I don't know. But yeah, um, this season we ate, and it was fun. It was good.
Hmm.
Those are my big three that I wanted to talk about.
Good. I like it.
Nice.
That's a check.
So I just want to, I guess if we're going in order of things we were looking for, one we kind of already talked about, and that was To Be Hero X. I know that just finished up,
Yeah.
22, 23 episode season. I know I don't want to belabor too much into it because we did a whole segment on a previous show. Go check that out. But I will say, having had the season complete or the actual show complete, because it's not like a continuum. They're not going to go into a season two of To Be Hero X because it's a kind of a standalone thing. But the way this was put together and put out for us to consume, if you're not going online and figuring out the timeline of how it's following, you're going to be like, WTF is going on here, right? Because
Mhm.
you'll watch the arc of one of the heroes and then it'll roll into another one. You're like, wait, I thought this dude was this guy, but this story that they're telling now happened before this. So get online and just kind of do some and I swear to God, once you do that, the blinders come off and you're able to enjoy this world for how it's being built. Um, but long story short, I guess kind of bottom line up front. If you like The Boys, you might want to check this out. It's about how corporations are trying to market heroes, make money off of them, X, Y, and Z, all of that good stuff. So you have the heroes sometimes being misled by their corporations because the corporations have ulterior motives being done. Sometimes you'll see heroes losing it and acting out because they fall in love with the lifestyle of being a hero, of being that icon for people, and then people going on to another hero and they kind of just lose themselves. They forget who they were before they became the hero and lash out and do all of that. I remember we talking about it, and our biggest thing was like, hey, this is a hybrid, kind of the love child of a Chinese animation studio and a Japanese animation studio coming together to make it work. And I will tell you, some of the fights that you will see in this show are very well done. Right, we're talking about this generation where Ufotable is blowing people out the water with their animation for Demon Slayer, and you're watching something like this, and Ufotable has always been kind of the pinnacle of being able to do computer generated animation with hand drawn animation. However, the fights in this one remind me of when Ufotable was first kind of getting out there with the Fate series, some of the fights they were doing there. When we do the post edits and then we put this up, I'll try to put a short clip of one of the fights that I saw between Queen and one of somebody she was fighting against. I forget the name, but they were fighting in like a loading dock with all of the Connex containers and
Oh
things like that.
yeah,
Bro, I was watching that fight. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Lord Jesus,
so
this is
so sick.
sexy. This is a sexy fight, man. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
They made
yeah,
that
dude.
really good.
the way
Dude,
because
they
the
definitely
scale,
did the female characters really
yes.
well in that. Yeah.
In that series, yes. Again, like my favorite arc, I just have to go with the Lucky Cyan one. I liked that whole arc. Um, the Queen one was good. Ghostblade was good. But to Jackie's point, there was a lot of female protagonists in here that just weren't thrown in there to be the bubbly. I
Yeah.
thought there was one. I forget her name. She had like the rabbit armor and stuff, and all
Oh yeah.
the cutesy little thing. But when it came time to get down, like she was getting down. She was messing some people up. So, but yeah,
And even then, they still had her as being like this genius, scientist,
yeah,
engineer
almost
person.
like I don't want to say poor man's Tony Stark, but like she works in a lab. Her and her friend came up, made some upgrades to her armor because she's like, I want to be a hero, and she was doing a lot of stuff, event and stuff. But everybody just looked at her like, oh, what a cute girl. Like, what are you doing out here?
Mhm.
She was like, I need people to take me seriously. So, but overall, a great watch. Binge it through. Let us know what you feel about it. But it's one of those where I'm glad it's just almost kind of glad. I would love to see this thing expand and more characters, see how these corporations work and stuff. But sometimes it's better to just strike while the iron's hot, just pull off like we did what we did. This was a good
That was
it's a
I
good
was going to
little,
ask you that, like,
yeah.
what you actually thought of that, because you mentioned in the beginning, we all, To Be Hero X was a one season thing for just the X portion,
Yep.
which skips over. It's just part of the history of the To Be Hero
Right.
whole world, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think it's a good? I mean, do you think this is going to be a repetitive thing? Since I mean, like you said, it's gotten really good following. The iron is hot.
Right.
Do they do another season where it's like a standalone season, or is it? Are they should be getting to a point where you think they should have more of not a continuous story, not pockets, not snapshots of people's stories.
I think if they want to continue, so I guess the closest thing I can compare this to when it comes to TV shows is like American Horror Story, right? So
Mhm.
American Horror Story, like those seasons, they don't fall. Like you don't need to watch season 1, 2, and 3 to watch season 4 to understand what's going on. Like each season, it is its own story encapsulated.
Yeah.
So that's what this was to me. And this closing out is cool. Would I love like a little, like if they do a little side light novel or like a small movie or something to kind of put a better bow on this? I would love it. But like to try to string this out for another season, another season, another season, I don't think they need to do that. Plus, if this works for them, telling the story this way, continue to do that. Don't do anything different. Again, it's the first kind of joining of these two studios to make this effort. The ambition of hand drawn and the computer generated worked well. That's one of the things that we noticed when the trailer was coming out. Like, hey, this is something to put on your radar. Look at this, and I think they knocked it out the park doing that. So, no complaints on this side. To Be Hero X, I will say, check it out. Give it a couple episodes, and please, if you're watching it, just go online real quick. You don't need to, look for spoilers or anything. There's what order are these sequence of events of To Be Hero X, and they'll tell you this arc happens at this point in time, this arc happens here, without telling you all the stuff that happens in between. But knowing that would make it's like a decoder ring. You'll watch the show and be like, man, this is fucking amazing. So, To Be Hero X finishing out this summer, so you're able to binge the whole thing all the way through. I will say my most disappointing one so far, because Togen Anki, what I thought was going to be like a 12 episode kind of summer thing, is running to be about 22 episodes. So they're starting the second part of season 1 now with the new opening. So every time there's a new opening, I'm just like, this is part 1 of whatever season it is, right? So the first part ended out, I guess with their big battle and everything. We kind of talked about it a little bit when we were talking of summer shows coming up. This is what I love. This is what I'm looking forward to. A lot of people kind of feel the same way as I do. Not so much like they hate it, but it's one of those where they're just like, I haven't seen this one, but based on other anime I've seen, I felt like I feel like I know where this is going, right? So that's what a lot of people are looking at when they're talking about Togen Anki. It's like it's too predictable. The biggest thing is a lot of people are saying the animation, right? So not to be too nitpicky with the animation, but watching some of their bigger spectacles, some of the bigger fights that the manga builds up to, and then to see it visually, a lot of people are let down, right? The there's no, I guess there's somewhat of a buildup, but the conclusion is just so predictable, right? Not to say that when you're watching the anime and you're just like, I want people to die. It's just, main character shows up, runs into, a captain of the. So, long story short, the good guys in this world are the only people who have magical powers that are driven by blood. So they all kind of have different things, right? The main character, before he found out he was an Oni, he was very into guns and stuff. So his blood power, he can create guns and all of that stuff. They're going up against the Momotaros, who are dead set on eradicating Onis off the face of the earth because they believe they're evil. So that's kind of the protagonist, antagonist. So there are captains in the Momotaro who come to their secret place, and they're just like, all right, cool, now let's get rid of them at their headquarters. They run into the main character. Obviously, he's out of his element because he's fighting the captain. And then new power awakes in him because he's one of the children of whatever. So now there's 8 different children from this deity, and they all have different elemental powers. He's the fire one, so he awakens the fire thing, and that was that, right? So you're just, I don't know. I want to give it a shot. I'm going to watch it through. A lot of people online are saying, hey, the manga's where it's at. Like, it's going to get better. Trust us, X, Y, and Z. It's one of those anime, like, if I have time or I'm caught up on some stuff, I'll probably check it out, like, when the season's all the way done so I can binge through it. It's not giving Black Clover meh, but it's close, The one thing it did have going for it was its opening that was sung by the Oral Cigarettes, who crush every opening they do.
It's a sick.
But then when they get away from the Oral Cigarettes and the new opening, I'm just like, now it's really tough to watch. Like, there's nothing. Like, when I'm looking forward to the opening.
At least what you had me coming here for is to watch the opening, and then I stayed because I'm already here.
No,
It's kind of like when you get sucked into those street performances.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I saw you do a backflip, so now I'm here, and now I'm sucked in until they do this whole, all right, before I do this, clap your hands.
Just do the thing already. Yeah. But it's on Crunchyroll it's 4.6, right? IMDb 6.5, so kind of middle of the road. Like Crunchyroll, like now I start looking at Crunchyroll ratings, like, what are we doing here? 4.6, I guess. But we'll
maybe
see.
4.4.
I don't know, man. It's rough. And the animation studio, who does the animation for it, is, let me see, I had it up here, Studio Hibari, right? And they have a sub brand, Lurchi, and Lurchi has animated Assassination Classroom, Classroom of the Elite. So they got some pretty good ones under their belt. And then you look at Studio Hibari, they're like, oh, we did High Card, Tekken Bloodline, Duel Masters, and I'm just like, what the fuck are these? Maybe there's some sleepers in there that I don't know, but I will say this. If you're trying to premiere an anime now, in present time, and your animation is lacking, your story better be excellent, or something, like, you better have something else, because, like, the number one eye grabber is like, bro, if this thing looks like ass, why? Why give it a shot? It's not quite Uzumaki type stuff, but you know what I'm saying. It's
well, I mean,
Uzumaki was bad, but the thing is, Uzumaki's story is amazing. The anime, you know what? Every time you bring it up, it makes me so
and I'll
mad.
say this too. It's a lot of, like, when they draw women characters in this one, like, it's 100% fan service, right? Like, these chicks just come out, like, one of the lieutenants of the Momotaro, like, is just in a woman's business suit with, like, the button right here, just tits out here, right? So when they go to fight her, they're just like, what? How are you out here showing so much skin? That's so classless, and all of that other stuff. There's a couple of Onis.
Yeah. I just have massive tits.
No, she doesn't care. She's just like, bro, I don't care. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing. I will destroy all of you guys, right? So that's dope. Like, it's cool to have, to add to the waifu list, but I'm just like, every female character shows up here. Like, if they're not a child that is, like, yelling, give it your best, which then gives the protagonist their super hidden powers, which is actually what happens. And it's just like, Lord Jesus, like,
wow.
I mean, I get it. There's a formula.
They have the whole deck of cliches going on.
There's a formula for shonen, and they're following it. But the bad thing is, like, when your animation is not up to par with your peers that are out there at the same time. Like, you're premiering the same time with Dandadan, the same time with Gotchi Akuda, the same time with Kaiju number 8. Demon Hunter's killing it in the theaters, and then you're putting this shit out like, hey guys, we should probably wait till till all these things are done and then roll this shit out. But
I don't know, man. Even if it didn't come out at the same time as that, like, Steve and I watched the first 2 episodes and we dropped it because we were like, we already, like you said, we already knew where it was going.
Yeah,
it was already so, like, come on. We were already like, all right, come on. I don't know. We were hoping that it was, like you said, going to be something.
And it's really got a 4.6 on Crunchyroll right now.
4.6,
I don't
man.
agree with that.
What in the world, man?
4.6.
Yeah, so we dropped it because we were like, this is. I don't want to. We were gonna go back to it just to keep like just to finish it and just see, but
It's
we're like,
it's
this
an
is not going to be our
anime.
priority right now.
It's an like I said, like if you're caught up on the other stuff and you're just like, let me just see how this ends, because that's how I ended up watching Black Clover. Like I was not following it week to week, and it was just one of those things like when there was a dead time in anime, and I'm just like, well, let me just put this on in the background and see
Yeah.
what all the hype was. And I finished it, but it's just like, meh, you know. They're like, oh, the
Yeah.
next season's coming out, a movie's coming out. I'm not really hyped for anything Black Clover, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Um, but I just
Well,
watch it. I just watch it just to be like, when somebody talks about it, I could join in on the conversation. Be like, I didn't
Yeah.
like it because of X, Y, and Z. You know.
yeah. Well, I mean, and we've mentioned it multiple times. The plate has been really full this summer, so my time windows are kind of small. If you're not giving me something that I'm like, wow, interested, I got to replace you, dog, because I got a bunch of other stuff to catch up on. And and I also blame Demon Slayer because after watching the Infinity Castle movie, I've already started watching from the beginning all over again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just
that's
because, I
funny.
mean, it was just yeah. So now I'm watching that, even though I've already watched it twice. I'm watching it a third time from the beginning, thanks to the movie.
Right.
That's awesome.
But obviously, I guess it's without saying, the biggest thing I'm super stoked for, and I'm also excited that it too will be going on about 23 episodes. Is Gotchi Kuta, right?
Yeah.
Very. I think this has the possibility to kind of be one of the next bigger things going out now that My Hero's in its final season, about to bow out. That void could possibly filled by this here. We talked about it again, talked about the animation, talked about the creator of this being working on Soul Eater and then also working on Fire Force. Now getting her chance to kind of put out her own story, her own vision, I guess you can say. So the story, I guess you could look at that too and be like, oh, it's kind of the standard protagonist, you know, dude loses somebody close to him, gets blamed for something, goes down there. I just feel I don't want to say so much different. I just feel the bond between the characters, and also like Rudu, like his whole, like them trying to discover what's special about him, right? They know he's a
Yeah,
giver. They know it comes from the gloves. He it's like something they haven't seen, because normally all the givers have their vital instrument, right? And they put things into it. His gloves, actually, anything he touches. Well, actually, they found out that it has to be stuff that is discarded, and he finds the purpose in them that gives it and makes it a weapon, right? So that whole thing I think is dope, but there's also like something like a evil or a rage inside of them that comes out every now and then, but they're unaware of it or whatnot. So it's very cool. Animation is dope. The music, the soundtrack throughout the show is good. Their whole that Pale Dusk, the opening. So the the creator reached out to them and asked them to write a song specifically for the opening for it. Because I just thought it was like the band, she found a song she liked and put it on there. I'm like, man, it's cool how these things just match up. Like the song Hugs was about, somebody being discarded from people they care about. They're pressing on, looking for the thing. One of the lyrics, they were just like asking for somebody to like give them a hug to get them through. I'm just like, man, dude, like that's exactly where Rudu was at. Like he was just like, people throwing me away. I need to get back
yeah,
there. I need to, and then to go and do some research to find out that the creator was just like, hey, can you write a song about this story? And they knocked it out the fucking park with that shit. So then I
that's
went
dope.
and listened to some of their discography and added all that shit to my workout playlist, because their shit is fucking, it's lit. Pale Dusk is
Yeah,
where
the
it's at.
ending song too is really good. That's a new band called Dust Cell, which first
Yeah,
of all, their name is sick.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, just everything. It's like a perfect storm with this one. Not too much fan service going on here. The other thing I do want to mention, and I think Jackie brought it up, kind of a sidebar in one of our previous episodes, is the representation in this one, right? So I know a lot of people are just, representation matters, and I will say it does, and this is my reason why. Because when it comes to cosplaying, there's a certain group of cosplayers that just get upset when somebody who doesn't match a skin color dresses up as that person, right? And for the most part, most logical people, we don't care, right? You have black people dressing up as Cloud Strife, like nobody's gonna say anything. But there are the people that are just like, bro, that's, Cloud's not black. Hinata isn't black. This she's not black. So now there's characters out there where you can dress up as and people can't say shit about it, right? Not that you need to wait for a dope black character or find a character that's your ethnicity
It's
and all
just
that
nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have that option, you know? So,
and it's done like well, because in other animes, especially older ones,
right.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. They would always make sure that like any black character had like the biggest lips.
Oh,
and I'm like,
the
that's
They were
characters.
super color different.
Characters is shit. You
like-
know what I'm saying? Like,
it's so crazy.
I mean, man, Mr. Popo's straight up a minstrel. Like you're like,
I'm just
Look.
like, you're as a black
on,
kid
Mr.
watching Dragon Balls, you're just like,
yeah.
I guess Piccolo's our guy. I'm not claiming Popo.
Yeah.
Well, at least,
He's
and I
fucking
mean,
green.
didn't the creator even come through and say that basically he put Piccolo as being the ethnic dude?
Dude, like you're looking like, oh, there's a
Oh,
legit
like-
black character here.
Yeah,
we,
I'm like,
we want the green guy. Like
No, yeah, nobody wants Mr. Popo.
at
mean-
all. But
Yeah.
it's just super dope, and to see the leader of the cleaners being a black dude, the receptionist, as dope as she is, because she has a fight too where she uses her abilities. It's just the premise around it is dope. So I'm excited that it's just not 12, 13 episodes and stopping, and then we're waiting another year. They're starting the second arc now. The enemies, the raiders, who also have giver powers, but they're using them. The story isn't fully I haven't read the manga or anything, so I'm just all absorbing all of my knowledge through the anime, which is dope. But yeah, they're just not drawing female characters in there just for fan service. There is one character they just ran into Amo.
yeah.
That story, that was fun. That was
so fucked up.
I know, and
I
how
was like-
do you know how bad I felt, right? Because after the previous one where Ruto fucks her up, you tried to kill me and my friends. Like, this is what you get. Bop, bop, bop. I'm like, yeah,
Which
man.
was also crazy.
Yeah, hands rated E for everybody. Like, I don't care. Oh, sad story. Oh, but you tried to fuck us up, so you get these 1s and 2s real quick. But then she's like, oh, here's my story. And I'm just like, man, your mom sold you off to a trafficker, and he lied to you, and he did things to you, and all this other stuff. And damn. Which was dope because Engine, who I love, right, as a mentor
Yeah.
for Ruto, kind of talks like, we're all down here in this shitty situation. You just can't be mad at everybody. Sometimes you need people. Let's go in there and apologize to her together for fighting her. And Ruto goes in there and apologizes, and she's just like, this is where I'm at, and he's just like, what I forgot what she said, but she was just like, our hands are just, wet or something along those lines. And he was like, well, puts his hand out and
Yeah.
comforts her with it, right? And I'm just
she's
like,
basically saying
oh
that
my
other
gosh.
people, they don't extend their hands out unless they're trying to use it as a weapon, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like, well, let's extend our hands out to help others. is
Yeah.
essentially what he said.
So that's
And it
just-
was like,
oh.
ugh.
Right? So that's the stuff I'm talking about. And then now, Kenpachi's mentioning the new episode. So, the Raiders come in, they infiltrate the base, and now they, teleport them to some other spot. But before that, the Raider shows Rudu, hey, I got old girl's boots. And, he just made that friend, right? He's trying to turn this corner of, caring for people and stuff.
Yeah.
And the friend that he just made, the person he just apologized and accepted, now he sees her boots, but he doesn't see her. And so, the episode ends with him coming up to the dude, what did you do to Amo, right? And then it goes straight to credits, and I'm just like, it's about to get fucking live. I want to start reading the manga to see what happens, but I'm trying to chill. But of those three, like I said, Jacci is by far up there, 8.1 on IMDb, 4.9 on Crunchyroll. Across the board, if it's a 10-star rating, it's up there 8 or 9. If it's a 5, it's up there 4.5 or higher. No, not a lot of complaints. people praising the soundtrack, people praising the art, people praising the fact that she went and got a graffiti artist to actually do the graffiti that's
Yeah,
found
which
in
is
there.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
the fact that that shit is hand drawn and
Yeah.
designed and not just like copied and pasted or AI just kind of
Yeah.
just dude,
Yeah.
the amount of time that they're taking to ensure that the because like oh my god I can't praise this one enough. By far my favorite one of the summer. Before we move on, I will say there was a sleeper one that I just stumbled upon. So all my fans of Berserk and all those darker type and dark fantasy anime, Cleavitus,
Oh yeah.
y'all gotta check that shit out.
Is
Y'all
it? I have it on my watch list, but I haven't checked
y'all
it out
gotta
yet.
check it out,
Yeah,
man.
we actually we have a friend who has just recently started watching anime this year. So we have him on our Crunchyroll. We've been giving him like a bunch of recommendations and everything. And he was like, "What are you guys watching right now?" We're like, "Oh, we're watching this Takopi's Original Sin is actually what we were watching." And he's like, "What's that one about?" We're like, "Whatever." He's like, "Oh, I've been watching Cleavitus." And we're like, "What's that one?" He's like, "It's actually really good. You guys should watch it." So we've added it to our watch list
Yeah.
because of him. And ever since he's mentioned it now, like I see it everywhere. It's like a huge recommendation right now.
Yeah, it's. I
I don't know
saw
much
it as
about it.
a.
I haven't looked into it. I was just gonna watch it
Yeah.
and then figure it out for myself. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'll
Now that Willie's
hand it
bringing
back
it up,
over
I'm
to
like,
you,
definitely
Willie.
gonna
But
check it out then.
but still, I'm like really excited that you're bringing it up right now, Willie, because we've been wanting to watch
you
it.
guys gotta see this. So like it I don't want to give it away, but pretty much one of the four beast kings raging a town, destroys all the humans, like humans are ass, right?
Mhm.
Before they kill one person, he's like, please just protect my baby. So then he's just like, you know what? I'll raise this baby, and if this baby is cool, I won't kill all the humans, right? So he starts to try to upbring this baby, brings back somebody from the undead, a wanderer, to be like, help me, raise this child. You have experience with children and all this shit. So that's the whole premise. Like they're going on these adventures, and the shit that they go through. First of all, let me just pause it on one of these things, because the biggest complaint people are throwing towards this is they're like, they don't like the animation, because they put kind of like, it's not a filter, but the way the animation is done brings it back to like hand drawn
Yeah.
Berserker, right? It gives it that feel of like early 2000s, late 90s
I love
type
that
stuff.
anime stuff.
And they're just like, well, I don't like this. This is blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 right? And you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The other thing they don't like, they're like, it's, and and I think Jackie will be on my side with this. Let me take this off before they fucking come and delete our channel,
you.
right?
Yeah.
He pulled off screen like, oh shit.
Yeah.
God forbid that
Where'd
we show
Willie go?
everybody a trailer. They can literally fucking
Go.
Google
He'll
themselves.
be here.
Like, holy shit. Sorry.
People knock on my door. Oh, I'll be back. You never see me again, right?
Never see you.
Man,
Black
dude,
bag
we're
over your
not
head, like-
stealing anything. My God. Maybe we're
Absolutely
getting more
not.
views for you. You're welcome.
But no, people are just complaining because the violent things that are depicted in it, right? Like they show children getting fucking slaughtered, right? Infants getting killed. Violence, like horrible violent acts and stuff against women.
The
And stuff.
OVA.
They
kind of-
should
Think
watching.
you remember when Goblin Slayer first came out, the first episode, people were just like, Lord Jesus, how like,
Oh my
bro,
God.
it's how, like, if you go and look at the
Why
manga,
is my hentai?
if you go
like,
look at the
super
manga, if
available
you
to
go
everyone?
look at, there's like, sometimes there's borderline fan service getting into the ecchi kind of thing in it, but it's not over the top, so I like it. It scratches the itch that Berserk, that left.
Yeah.
And then when it came back in 2016, I thought it was gonna get again, and
Yeah,
I
it's still
didn't.
left. Yeah.
So that's the that's the one that I slept on, and I'm glad I woke up and just happened to, because Crunchyroll is just like, you watched all the things that you wanted to watch. Like when you're doing week to week, it's just like,
Yeah.
try checking this one out. I'm like, well, okay. Instantly, I'm just like, I'm in on it. So
Yeah, it popped up as like this, if you like this or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, I was checking it out and I was like, add it to the list. And then boom, you talked
Yep.
about it tonight. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad it recommended that.
Yep. So I mean, it's because you've seen Claymore, right? You guys watched that
Oh
or heard
yeah,
of
I
it or
have
whatnot?
Claymore. I
Oh
have the
yeah.
Blu-ray.
Really,
Yeah.
really long
I
time ago, but I was really young, so like
Yeah.
oh
So
there's a
I mean,
lot of
it's
there's a lot of older animes that I like watched when I was like 10, 11, 12.
yeah,
mhm.
So like now that I'm 32, I don't remember. Like I know I watched them, but I
Oh
don't
yeah.
remember them.
yeah,
And even then, like if I kind of remember them, it doesn't hit different. Or sorry, it doesn't hit the same
yeah.
if you watch it like when you're 10 compared to when you're an adult. So
Oh
I had
yeah.
to go back and
Claymore is
watch those
probably going to be more appealing to you now because
probably. Yeah.
and it's on Crunchyroll, so you could always check it out.
Yeah, like right now I'm watching Samurai Champloo for the first time.
And
Ooh,
yeah, that's an
I'm so
amazing.
jealous.
I
I'm so
know
jealous when people get to experience something like that for the first time because I remember like me watching it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is
It's like,
Sick.
gorgeous.
It's so much fun.
This
It's
is
so
gorgeous.
sick,
the
dude.
way the
I'm so
action
mad at
comes with you,
myself
it's like,
that I took so long to watch this.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is so much fun to watch. This is so I love it.
it is. It is.
So
The
again,
interaction's great too.
it's like Jackie said, we ate well this summer, and I didn't even get everything that was on the menu. You know,
Same.
that's the
Yeah,
crazy
same.
part.
I still have like a lot of things just sitting in the queue.
Oh, I
It's
know.
like,
I
fuck,
know.
dude. Let
'Cause I
me
know
add
I
5
did.
more, and now I have 165 to watch.
Yeah,
I know I recommended Lazarus, or I picked, or that was one of my picks, and I did end up getting to finish it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I know a lot of people had pacing issues with it or felt that it wasn't. I feel like they were comparing it way too much to Cowboy Bebop, but I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, I'm getting the same thing where I'm like, I'll get caught up on those, and then I'll remember one that we've talked about on on your radar, and I'm like, oh dang, I gotta go back. But
yeah.
man, because I'm Fire Force. I've checked it out, but I never got to finish it. And like you keep bringing it up, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch that one too. I'm only so much time.
Yeah. And the good thing is the final part of the final season, when they do that thing, they break the final season into multiple parts. So that starts up in January. So you got time to get caught up before that. Or you could just wait till the whole series is done and then just kind of run through it that way, which, for some people that works better. So you're not sitting there like me, just like, give me the fucking ending. But
yeah,
it is what it is. But CJ, we saw your comment. We're going to dedicate kind of an episode to like our, it's Halloween, spooky season. We're going to talk about those horror animes and stuff like that. So if you're free, we'll probably hit you up and see if you want to jump on. I know you were real high on wanting to check that one out and share your thoughts on that. So just let us know what time works for you. But unless you guys have anything else that you peeped this summer that you're just like, hey, guys, you might want to check this out as well. We can roll over to our regularly scheduled programming. You guys good?
Yes, sir.
All right. I did want to bring this up. Did you guys see that Crunchyroll is like been effing up, and a lot of people are like getting rid of their subscriptions and depending on Hulu and what you call it, Netflix for their anime fix now?
No, what's the big
I have not seen
issue?
that. Yeah.
So with these fall releases coming out, people have noticed that the way they do their subtitles is all like kind of jacked up. Like when multiple people are talking, it doesn't let you know who's saying what. They just overlap subtitles over one another. Like if you're watching subs and somebody's looking at their phone screen, it doesn't translate what's on the phone screen or anything. So you're just like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
I've
going
noticed
on?
that sometimes. I've also noticed they'll do like a sign will come up,
Yep.
and then someone will be talking, and then you'll miss some.
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you really quick though,
Go
Willie,
ahead.
only because Crunchyroll's not the only one that does that.
No,
Netflix also
because
does it, and Hulu does it too. It's really
Crunchyroll
bad.
used to be better at it. They switched to a new
system.
program, a new system to do
Oh.
subtitles, and that's what's fucking it up, right? So I
Mm.
Well,
know
they need to fix
Disney
it.
Plus was like the worst with their fucking subtitles, right?
Yeah, they're really bad.
Their shit is
Hulu's
horrible,
also really bad.
right?
I
So
hate
that's why
Hulu's
people are
fucking
just like,
subtitles.
we're going to Netflix for this shit, right? So,
Yeah.
but they're trying to fix it because they got a lot of outrage because they did the whole thing where they bought out Funimation, right?
Yeah.
So the wild thing is, in Japan, for whatever reason, they don't. It's the wild part. They don't really like when mergers like that happen. They don't keep the people that are doing the better job in there because Funimation is kind of a little sub thing of Sony, and they're just like, well, since they're with Sony and Sony's like big in Japan, we're gonna let the people that were running Funimation, like it'll be the Crunchyroll name, but the Funimation people will be running Crunchyroll. So they just brought all the subpar shit that Funimation was doing, and now it's kind of rolling over into Crunchyroll. Like the Crunchyroll store, people have tried to order from it, and their packages are like either not showing up, getting there destroyed, getting there like fucking months late, things like that, and all this backlash. So Crunchyroll is like in this fucking you know scramble mode, trying to fucking get their shit back, build up their trust back. But Crunchyroll is under fire. Like I'm not canceling the shit at this point. It's more
Yeah.
a lot of the shit that I watch is over here on Crunchyroll, right? High Dive
Yeah.
is just out here, just like, bro, we're still here, but they don't get any.
It doesn't really have a
They
lot.
don't really
though.
give them a lot of shit, you know. The only thing they have going for them is that they got season 2 of Call of the Night, which is a pretty dope thing. And they
Also,
got
Demon Hunter is on High
yep,
Dive.
Yeah, Demon Hunt, sort of the Demon
yeah,
Hunter.
sort of the
Sort of
Demon
Demon
Hunter.
Hunter,
Yep.
yeah.
And shout out
Gotcha.
Creepy Nuts for doing the intro for season 2 of Call of the Night. It's a dope song as well. Creepy Nuts don't miss. But High Dive is out here like, bro, we're out here. If they would just give us shows, we can have them over here, which is wild because like they'll give them the Crunchyroll, they'll give them the Hulu, they'll give them the Netflix, and it's just like there's another company out here. I don't know the behind the scenes of anime streaming, but
How long has High Dive been around?
Not that long. High Dive's been around for maybe
a few years. I know it was
Yeah.
around when I was at
5 years.
Luke, probably like 2020, I think.
Yeah, so about 5 years. I think they'll probably start getting the catalog too, but
Actually, High Dive came out 2017.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still not. That's still nothing compared to Crunchyroll and
Oh
you
yeah.
know, Netflix. And
Well,
everything.
even High Dive's also like, because I have High Dive and their video like user friendly, whatever. They're not very user
The
friendly.
interface, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it kind of
Because you'll try to
and then
search for
it's-
an anime, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Well, you'll try and because when Oshinoko came out, that's how we were trying to watch it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was only available then, and then Disney Plus has it now, so now we watch it on Disney Plus. But I would try and connect to the internet and then have the share your screen or whatever, and have my phone just put the video on there. But I don't know what it was. It was like High Dives, whatever their app, how it works, or
Mhm.
their browser wasn't able to it would take eons for the video to show up on the TV.
Mhm.
And then even by the time it would then say error. I don't know. They fixed some stuff. It's kind of getting better, but it's like the only way I can watch it now is if I watch it on a browser on my computer screen or just on my phone. I can't put it on my TV and there's no app that you can get on your TV unless you download the app on something that you've not jerry-rigged, jailbroke.
Jailbroken,
Talk about
yeah.
High Dive?
Yeah.
No, you get I have a Fire TV stick, and you can
Yeah,
get High Dive.
that's what
on
I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah.
I can't download the app on my TV.
Oh, like on a smart TV, like a Samsung,
Like the
Yeah.
or something
Rokus
like
and the
that.
Like I
TCL.
have to have one of those things in order to
Yeah.
have it. And
Well,
I
see,
don't
and
know.
I've wondered with that too, as far as I don't know how much they can compete with. I mean, right now everything's going streaming. We all know that, and the battle is for the bandwidth. Everything's bandwidth now. So you got Prime, Amazon's got a huge chunk. Amazon, Netflix are probably the two biggest streamers out there. Hulu got sucked up by Disney, but I mean, basically, Disney, in my opinion, has a horrible interface. Their interface is
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
then when you want to
if you're not
fast
going
forward
there
in
for
Disney,
their big
yeah,
properties, like if it's not Marvel,
or straight
Star
up
Wars,
their
or
animated
something like
movies.
that.
Yeah,
If you're just like, where's the anime at on Disney Plus? Like it's just like, oh, it's over there in the corner. You know,
yeah,
it's over there somewhere.
and
Find
mhm,
it.
also, yeah, and then also when you want to fast forward or do anything like that on Disney Plus, anything by the way, it
yeah,
doesn't matter what the video is. It's so ass. I can't.
yeah,
Hulu's like that too. I'm like, why don't you guys? Do you guys not have weekly meetings and like
yeah.
look at these things and go, we should
And
fix
I don't
this?
think
But
they
no,
have the
they let
money.
things go on
Well,
for
Disney
years. It's
does,
been
but
like that for years.
I feel like Crunchyroll and High Dive is unfortunately suffering for the fact that they are nowhere near capable of battling for bandwidth against those big dogs.
No,
They
it's
can't.
as popular as Crunchyroll
Crunchyroll's
is.
interface.
Everybody talks about
Yeah,
Crunchyroll like it's so big. Like
they don't have
when
that
you're
kind of
looking in
money.
the ocean of streaming companies, like you got Prime, Netflix, who like those things. Like Crunchyroll is so small compared to those.
Yeah,
So the fact that now these bigger streaming things are like we're dabbling in anime too. Like Netflix
yeah,
is picking more and more the more constant ones up. Like Sakamoto Days, like season 2 of Sakamoto Days was way better than season 1. People are more receptive to it. Things like that.
Yeah,
You know, they got the Castlevania things. You know, they got Blue Eye Samurai. They got all these things coming
yeah.
over. So it's like
yeah,
if Netflix gets a bigger piece of the anime pie, like Crunchyroll may just go away. So it's just,
yeah.
um, I think CJ says it perfectly in the comments. The largest dedicated streaming service for a niche audience. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of people have just been complaining about it. So if you are watching Crunchyroll, you're like, yo, what the fuck's up with these things? And then a smaller piece on the political side, if you want to get into that, the company that they went to start providing them with the thing to provide them with subtitles is an Israeli company, and people feel a type of way about that because of the whole Israeli Palestine thing. They're just like, why are you supporting this thing? Crunchyroll's like, hey, yo, chill, chill, chill. We ain't neither
Yeah.
here nor there. You know, we're not picking a side on any of this stuff. We're just trying to give you guys good subtitles, so we're gonna fix
Trying to keep our business
them.
moving. Mhm.
Also, Crunchyroll is owned by Sony, and isn't Sony owned? Isn't that a Japanese company?
It is.
Yeah.
That's why Funimation is that it's owned by Sony
So
now because the Funimation Crunchyroll merger happened, and because Funimation was part of Sony, Sony's just like, well, now you have Crunchyroll. We'll use your Crunchyroll brand since it's so good and way better than the Funimation one.
Yeah.
However, Funimation will be running Crunchyroll now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's just
it's a whole thing.
the only thing is with Crunchyroll of why this is I don't think that Crunchyroll is going away anytime soon. That's my own personal opinion. The only reason why I think that is because it right now it's the only streaming service that has everything.
yeah.
Like you go on Disney Plus, it only has certain anime. You go
Yeah.
on Netflix, it only has certain anime, and even then it doesn't have the most updated seasons. And
Yeah.
then if you go on High Dive, it barely has anything. So you're not gonna get the amount of anime that you're getting right now unless you go through Crunchyroll. So until Crunchyroll changes the shit that people are getting pissed off about, people are gonna continue to probably deal with the problems that Crunchyroll is having because it's the only streaming service right now that has literally everything.
Well,
Or or
yeah.
unless Netflix and everything else just takes it all and onboards everything, and now they have the same amount of anime that Crunchyroll has, and then Crunchyroll becomes irrelevant.
And a thing to for people to consider that are upset with Crunchyroll, like from what you brought up, Louise, they got to look at it. These are big mergers, okay, that happen. Basically, Sony rolling over or bringing these two and rolling them into one uniform. Anytime there's a huge situation like that, you got ongoing contracts that existed between the different ones with whoever their providers were. All that stuff's going to have to play out in the next year. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you got to give when you have a big merger like that, just like when Disney took up Lucasfilms for a year, everything's going to be kind of weird because you're bringing in two enormous, um, groups and trying to bring it under your umbrella. So
Yeah.
they got to give it time. I think probably next year or so you'll see. The good thing is Crunchyroll now has more financial backing. Bad thing is Crunchyroll now has more corporate overhead control. So they're watching. So however you look at it, that's going to be good and bad because you know the main goal in the end for them is profit. So we may see things shift on Crunchyroll. It would still be there. I don't think it's going to go away because Sony wouldn't have brought it if they didn't know that it had that future the future of making them money. So we just got to wait and see how when everything settles, when everyone from the mergers have gone their separate ways or things are now on track, that's when you'll start to see it'll level off and you'll see the new Crunchyroll, basically.
I just know if they keep bullshitting around, having people run, they're gonna go like Kapachi saying to these pirate sites, which
Mm-hmm.
none of the money goes to the animators, none of the
The
money goes to the
artists,
studios, none of the money goes to the artists. So you're just gonna have people bootlegging this, and the people that are providing us with this with the product aren't gonna get the money, and then it'll suffer. So
yeah,
that's what I don't want people to just all get off these streaming sites and go to private pirate sites and watch stuff for free, and then people aren't getting paid for the work that they're doing. So hopefully they get it right. But if not, like you can't really blame people for saying, "Hey, it's done better over here,"
yeah. What am I paying for?
and I'm not coming out of my pocket. So, um, that I mean that's one of the reasons why I just I pay for the streaming stuff. Like as much as I'm getting, like I can't fucking donate to the people's PayPal, and I'm just like, this is how I can ensure that you're getting your money, like I'll go
Yeah,
watch your shit in the theater, I'll go watch it online, but like it's rough watches, man. Like that's why a lot of people don't go to Disney Plus to watch their shit.
I
Like
know.
if it wasn't for
Yeah.
the fact that Thousand Year Blood War was only on Hulu for, like I probably wouldn't be
Yeah,
watching anime over on Hulu.
yeah,
I do think that the fact some sites have older episodes of certain things, like if you want to watch Food Wars, like to watch the first couple of seasons is over on Hulu. Like Crunchyroll
Netflix,
only has like season 3 and on, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Netflix has them, I think, too.
you just have to go back and forth and try to find, instead of it just
yeah.
It's
being in one
also
spot.
annoying.
Yeah,
That's why the mergers may be a pain in the butt, but in the end, you're basically getting all the fat's going to get cut off. That's not making them money.
Bring back DVR, dude. Just regular
And
cable, DVR. Let me record the things, put it in storage because this is so.
they stopped DVR because it took a lot of their control out of their hands. Because when they're fighting contracts to who's going to get the prime watch hours, basically all the networks were selling 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Those were prime slot. When DVR was readily available everywhere, that now drops because everyone's going to be like, "Why the fuck am I paying or going to pay more to have my show
well,
on
that's
your
all
network?"
streaming's doing anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Streaming and that stuff
because
killed.
you're not getting live ratings. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
exactly.
I'll watch you 3 days from now.
Mhm. Yeah, but they all took the hit.
Yeah.
Cable took the hit the hardest because they
Yep.
took the longest to learn.
The streaming services get so.
Out of hand. I
Yeah,
know. But
It's so frustrating.
sorry to end it on a downer note. Uh, keep getting your anime how you been getting it. Don't let us talk you out of anything. Just know we're here and we also see the shenanigans going on and we feel the pain. So um, unless my awesome co-hosts Jackie or EJ have any last words, we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up.
actually, I wanted to
9.
ask both of you a question real quick before we wrap it, since we're finishing off the summer season.
Uh huh.
We all finished Dan to Dan, correct?
Yes.
I just wanted a quick. Did you like it? Are you looking forward to next season?
Oh, I loved it.
Yes. And I'll
Yes.
say yes only because like if you guys have it, just bro, like you could jump into the manga and catch up to where the anime is at real quick fast. When you see what's coming up and you see how they're animating and doing the story justice now, you're like, I can't wait to see what you do with this next part. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just like, bring it. Like bring that. Take your time with it. Do it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because they're obviously whatever they're doing is working as far as I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I
this
loved
season
it.
is excellent.
I love this season. I love the different take
I know.
that they did with like the animation and the music, the comedy. Dude, it was so funny. And the love that's like blossoming between both of the main characters, I love it.
And I'm
It
not
just
even a
gives us
big fan of that will they won't they stuff, but for these two, I'm just like just
yeah,
just just go, just do it.
but they're not doing it too
Yeah, yeah, that's
obnoxiously
what I'm
though, like they
saying.
do
yeah,
in other ones.
yeah.
So
It
it's
flows
good.
well, and I feel like this whole season it carried it well throughout the entire season, to where it wasn't in your face 24/7,
Yeah.
but it was still there enough for you to always be rooting for whatever you want to happen. And I like the expansion of the group
Yeah,
dynamic.
yeah, they're
Um,
adding to the roster, you know.
yeah, exactly. But it I think that it was good, and I just wanted, since we're closing out the summer, I wanted to put that out
Yeah.
there, and
Right. I
I
think
appreciated this season.
I think
Yeah,
Dan
and
to
then
Dan was
CJ, I know we didn't talk about The Summer He Grew died, but
right.
that was definitely on, like, it's because we
Yeah,
talked about it last time. We've
Yeah.
talked about it a lot. Like, we're gonna talk about it in our horror one. Like, we definitely want to talk about the ones also that we mentioned
Yep.
that we didn't give a lot of love to throughout the past few episodes we've done the past 3 months,
Yeah.
and wanted
yeah,
to talk about from those ones which ones did they do well, did they not, what were some surprises. So come back with us for that one, and we'll definitely talk about The Summer He Grew died
1,000%.
because
absolutely. But
Cool.
yeah, thanks for you guys' info.
No worries, man. No worries. I thought Dan to Dan was like one of the ones where I'm just like, I'm pretty sure everybody liked that shit, right?
yeah.
It's one of the
I,
ones like
I would
everybody,
hope
In there,
so.
The Summer He Grew died. Like
right?
Summer He Grew died made you like uncomfortable and also like feel like scared while also like enjoying it, while also
Yeah,
feel some type of
Yeah.
like
it
awe.
did
Like
it
there's
did
a
a
lot.
great job with a lot of stuff, but we'll definitely talk about it,
Yeah.
CJ. We've all been talking about it. We're just trying to fit it into that, the seasonal vibe there. So
100%. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up there. Thanks to everybody who tuned in live to check us out. Thanks to everybody who's checking us out over on the YouTube channel. The views have been going up on the last two. Maybe it's because we were talking about the Demon Slayer movie and that was popping. But we also have past content that is just as dope as that. So make sure to go back and check those out. Until next time, take care. Enjoy the anime, however you're watching it. And we'll holler at you next time. All right? Peace.
Peace.